painful digestive disorder that many people are dealing with, particularly people as they age, they become more and more prone to diverticulitis. We're going to go through really 4 key steps we need to do in order to heal this condition naturally. And so if you don't know me, I'm Dr. David Jockers. I am a doctor of natural medicine. I work with people all around the world, and I speak all around the world at churches, organizations, on a lot of different online summits and online programs. This is my beautiful wife, Angel, and my baby boys, David and Joshua, twin boys. And we're just passionate about life and passionate about helping people get well and stay well naturally. And so we look at diverticulitis. What we know is that we all have diverticuli. These are little pouches in our intestines. And these naturally occur, but we get more of these. They occur more frequently if we're not taking good care of our digestive system. And not only do we get an increase in these diverticuli, but we also develop infections with the diverticuli because these are little houses for bacteria. And if we have dysbiosis or a poor balance of microbes in our intestines, then we're going to have issues here. We're going to certainly develop inflammation and infection in these regions, and it can be extraordinarily painful. And so we're going to go through the strategies we need to take in order to heal this naturally. And really, how does somebody know that they have diverticulitis? Well, typically, a medical doctor will do a detailed exam to actually see this. Particularly, they're going to do something like an endoscopy, where they actually go up your rear end with a little camera, and they take pictures of the intestines, and that's how they will actually diagnose diverticulitis. But we know the major symptoms are going to be things like cramping, bloating, tenderness, particularly in the left side of the abdomen. You know, the lower right side is typically associated with appendicitis, whereas the lower left side is typically associated with diverticulitis. And that pain can be relieved by passing gas or bowel movement. Individuals with diverticulitis with the active infection oftentimes will have diarrhea, they'll have mucus in their stool, nausea, they won't want to eat, and have a continual need to eliminate, so they'll want to constantly be going to the bathroom, kind of that diarrhea symptom. That's very common when somebody is in an acute infection, diarrhea, nausea, mucus in their stool, and a continual need to eliminate. Sometimes they can run a fever too if there's major infection there. So what are the major causes? Well, obviously a bad diet, particularly low in fiber, high in processed foods, high in grains. Gluten sensitivity is a really common issue with this. Individuals that are dehydrated, which is a chronic epidemic. Low in magnesium, because magnesium is so key for bowel activity, for bowel muscle contraction. That's a really common issue. Oftentimes, individuals that are under a lot of stress, because when we're under a lot of stress, we use more water, we use more magnesium. So stress will actually cause dehydration, magnesium deficiencies. Some people are a little bit more genetically prone to it. And we all have genes, but genes only play 30% of the role in our disease outcomes and our quality of life. So 30%. The other 70% is really how we program those genes with the environment, the diet, the lifestyle, the stress, the nutrition, things like that. All those factors play a role in how the genes express themselves. Gallbladder disease. So people with issues with their gallbladder are higher likelihood of developing diverticulitis. Obviously, gallbladder is a major digestive disorder, typically associated with liver problems too, and a number of things, thyroid problems, so those all go hand in hand. People are obese. Obesity is going to be very much related. In fact, we know that fat cells themselves will secrete, basically they're going to release inflammatory compounds. So we're going to have more inflammation the more weight we have on ourselves. Coronary artery disease. People with CAD or coronary artery disease are much more likely to have diverticulitis. Why again? Coronary artery disease, very much associated with magnesium deficiency, as is diverticulitis. Yeah. So 4 steps to heal. Number 1, remove gut irritating foods. We're going to use a food elimination diet for that. Number 2, gut soothing nutrition plan. The right nutrition plan to help soothe the gut, to help heal the diverticuli. We need the right gut healing supplements to help support and strengthen the gut wall. And we need lifestyle strategies that we can apply to really get to the root cause of the problem, correct and stabilize it so we don't have problems with our diverticuli and in general with our digestive system again. So let's take it step by step. Number one, get rid of the gut irritating foods. So an elimination diet. Most gut irritating foods, here they are: gluten, really grains in general, particularly gluten, although there's gluten molecules in all grains. So I'm a big fan of a grain-free diet, but particularly, in the immediate, somebody can immediately get off gluten, and that will play a big role in reducing the frequency and the severity of diverticulitis. Dairy is another big one. So when I have somebody with diverticulitis, I take them off all dairy except for ghee. Why ghee? Because ghee is clarified butter. Butter has trace amounts of lactose, casein, and whey. Ghee is completely free of lactose, casein, and whey. Those are the most inflammatory provoking agents in dairy. So the actual dairy fat is really good for the body. It's short chain. Most of it is short chain fatty acids like butyrate, which are extremely anti-inflammatory for the gut. So I like using ghee. Also fat-soluble vitamins, vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin D, choline in there, really good for the brain. So a lot of good stuff in there. So ghee is good. Refined sugar, take them off the sugar. Eggs, unfortunately, a lot of people have issues with eggs. So in the beginning, I will take people off eggs, corn, soy, vegetable oils, all these ones, canola, cottonseed, safflower, peanuts, soybean, corn oil, all real bad. And come off of those. As I said, they're all grains. Shellfish, a lot of people have issues with shellfish. They don't know it. They have issues. Tree nuts, so that's going to be obviously things like almonds, pecans, walnuts, stuff like that. We're going to take people off tree nuts. And also with diverticulitis, we're going to take them off seeds. So we take them off things like pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds, flax seeds, unless it's really well broken down, like for example, ground really well. Why do we want to take them off seeds? Seeds have more of a tendency to slip into those loose diverticuli where they can cause infection and cause more pain. So we want to take people off those. Legumes. Legumes have a high level of lectins, anti-nutrients. So we take people off the legumes. And then nightshade vegetables. A lot of people that have challenges with nightshades. We come off of those for a period of time. Some of these foods we're going to add back in. In general, we definitely want to stay off of gluten, as well as these vegetable oils. The other ones you may be able to rotate back in as your body gets healthier, and you may respond well to those. So, gut soothing nutrition plan. These are key things we want to use a lot of. Bone broth. Why bone broth? Because it's rich in proline.